Mendez, and I'm your host for today's show. Today's show is going to be a great show. We're talking finances. It's Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I want to remind everyone the number on the screen is 888-88-LEGAL. It's a live show. So if you have any questions, please call in. Ask us any questions you may have, any solutions. We're able to give them to you. And before I introduce our attorneys today here at PraDa Live, I just want to remind you one more time to give us a call. The consultation is free. We have offices in Miami, in Doral. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, please like and share. Today we have a special guest again, ladies and gentlemen, Caroline Reyes.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Of course, the stunning Alexis Garcia.
Thank you, Jackie. Hello, everyone, and it's a pleasure to be here this evening.
And of course, Jennifer Pratt.
Thank you so much, Jackie. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, give us a call, 888-88-LEGAL. Let's get right into the conversation.
That's right. And yesterday's show, we liked you so much, Ms. Reyes. She is a Florida certified mediator, family mediator, that we've invited her back. We thought that today, which is our financial show, we've got some impacting news regarding the world of finances and our economy. We figured we would bring Ms. Reyes back so that she can talk to us a little bit about what's happening in these family mediations right now in the time of COVID. Not only how are they conducting mediations during COVID, but how has the effect of COVID and our pockets being affected, and how that has affected mediations and divorces. And I know that divorce rates are through the roof. But the big news that we're going to be talking about right now is the fact that we're in Florida, Orlando, Florida, Disney World, Mickey Mouse. It's a staple in my home. I think we all grew up with Mickey and Minnie. 28,000 people have been laid off from Disney. And, I can already see what this is going to do to annual passes and tickets. I mean, is that going to, are the prices going to be raised? I mean, what's going on here?
Well, I used to be an annual pass holder. I have two kids.
You mean pre-COVID?
So we used to go to Disney constantly, but we didn't renew our passes, and it's my understanding there's an issue now with annual passes. I'm not sure. Actually, Mr. Hada knows. We were talking about that with him because he has some kids. So there are issues with the annual passes now, and additionally, they're limiting the number of individuals who could come in. Typically, Disney doesn't close the door to anybody, but because of all the restrictions, they've been limiting the number of people to come in. So yeah, ticket prices are steep, but when you're going to take this cut, when you were just, opening the doors, and now they're being closed, that's really gonna hurt.
And Attorney Garcia, I would imagine that, like yourself, many people probably did not renew their annual passes this year, and that had to have hurt them, because I think the idea behind annual passes is kind of like subscriptions, right? Where you get 100 people to buy the annual passes, and they do the math. I mean, it's all statistics as to they figure you're not you guys.
I got my money.
You guys got your money worth. I remember every weekend you guys were in Orlando. But let's be real. Most people will go maybe just twice a year, three times a year, and yet you're paying that exorbitant amount. And so I could see people not renewing their passes and how this could affect. But 28,000 people losing their jobs at Disney. It's huge. And, during these times of COVID, it's a roller coaster. We've seen the ups and downs. We have Attorney Garcia here to talk to us about bankruptcy. What are some of the options? Some of these folks, if you're watching us, we do file bankruptcies in the Middle District, all right, in Orlando.
I talked to a client today that her case is going to be filed in Orlando. We were on the phone today.
It happens all the time. We represent folks all over the state, so don't think that because we are located in Miami that we can't represent you in your bankruptcy, whether it's North Florida, Middle Florida, or Central Florida, or South Florida. We're here to help. And with that being said, we have Attorney Reyes here as well. One of the things that has been happening throughout this COVID situation with courts and also mediations is that we're now Zooming everything. Everything is via Zoom. So, for example, Attorney Reyes, and I don't know this, but you tell us, if parties are trying to mediate in another county, we have a lot of listeners and a lot of watchers, a lot of viewers from Palm Beach County, even the Middle District, would you be able to still Zoom, conduct their mediation?
Absolutely. Everybody, we just mediated a case where the person was in New York. So, it's much more beneficial now. They don't have to bear the burden of having that cost to come down in person. We just do everything through Zoom. But yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much, Attorney Reyes. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, that number on the screen, give us a call, 888-88-LEGAL.
And Attorney Reyes, you do strictly family mediations. Have you seen a spike in divorces that are being filed?
Not filed yet because people are still a little bit weary of the whole court system. So they're not sure if the courts are open, which they're not physically open, but they're still functioning. So unless you have an attorney who's going to handle it, which you guys do, you'll be able to still e-file and get everything done. And then all the hearings are being conducted via Zoom as well. So, I mean, the show goes on just in the legal standpoint with the attorneys, as we know, but pro se's, people who are not represented, may be a little bit weary, so they're holding off. But that's when mediation comes into play, because a lot of people would divert to mediation rather than going ahead and filing.
Do you do any mediation pre-filing? I know that those are not as popular and a lot of people don't know about them. They're usually called collaborative family law type area, but this is where folks, even before they file, before things get even slightly ugly and way too expensive, they go to a mediator beforehand to see if they can just come up with an agreement. Do you participate in those?
Yes. Well, I've done a couple collaborative mediations, but even aside from collaborative, we've had a bunch of clients who just want to start to see where the negotiations are at, where everybody's at, get a full agreement, and then open the case. Because once you open the case, then you have time limits, and you know, people are just more like nervous about it. But you know, we had a case where we mediated 4 times in 4 different sessions, and everybody agreed. Nobody was going to file anything. We just wanted to go at a slow pace. This was just a particular couple that wanted it like that. They had their kids. They wanted to pick up their kids at 5 o'clock. So we had a mediation every day from 10 to 5, 4 different sessions. We exchanged documents in between. The attorneys handled that, and then we would just set them up within a month in between. And then we ended up settling the case all pre-suit before filing.
So that means that once they were done at your office, along with their attorneys, they just filed everything and it was good to go.
Right. They filed the petition and the mediation agreement, and there was nothing to fight. They just finalized the divorce.
And in these times of COVID, you know, we're going to be talking to Attorney Garcia about the impact that these job losses are going to have, are already having in our economy, and the differences that you can do using bankruptcy to hopefully save your assets and not have to find yourself in, you know, in a situation worse than what you're in now. Now is the time to act. We're going to be going to a quick commercial break, and I'm going to let the lovely and stunning Jackie Mendez give us the number before we leave.
Well, it's 888-88-LEGAL. It's pretty simple, and the consultation is free. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I know you're home right now asking yourself, how? How will I pay my rent, my mortgage, my bills, my credit card debt? I'm attorney Alexis Garcia with PraDa Law. I've personally helped people with financial problems over the last 10 years. I understand what you are going through. We saw people lose it all in the 2008 financial crisis. You don't have to lose it all. The consultation is free. Call us now. I will help protect what you have built. You have nothing to lose by calling us. Call us now. These are trying times. This deadly virus is affecting our health, economy, jobs, our small business owners. Bankruptcy protection may be able to save assets and immediately stop your creditors from harassing you. Small business owners, employees of business of any size. We know you need help. Call us now. We will help you get back on your feet. Don't wait until it's too late. This is the time to call.
Sé que estás en la casa ahora mismo preguntándote, ¿cómo voy a pagar la hipoteca, la renta, los biles, las tarjetas de crédito? Soy la abogada Jennifer Pratt con PraDa Law. Yo personalmente he ayudado a las personas con problemas financieros durante los últimos 10 años. Yo entiendo por lo que estás pasando. Vimos cómo la gente lo perdió todo durante la crisis financiera del 2008. No tienes que perderlo todo. Llama ahora. La consulta es gratis. Te ayudaremos a proteger todo lo que has construido durante todos estos años. Sabemos que estos son tiempos difíciles. Este virus mortal está amenazando nuestra salud, nuestra economía, nuestros empleos y a los propietarios de nuestras pequeñas empresas. La consulta es gratis. Llame ahora. Te ayudaremos a recuperarte. No esperes hasta que sea demasiado tarde. Llame ya.
And welcome back to PraDa Law Live. I'm Jackie Mendez. I'm your host for today's show. Let's get right back into the conversation. Today is Financial Day, okay? We've been talking little mediation. We're going to sprinkle in some bankruptcy with Attorney Garcia. Jennifer,
That's right. We're here with Attorney Garcia. And, you know, before we move on, I just want to say production has been giving me a hard time today about my look, but I'm just channeling my RBG. May she rest in peace.
May she rest in peace.
She was an awesome pioneer, and regardless of your political beliefs, you must say the woman she is a legacy. And, you know, may she rest in peace. I know she already passed away a couple of weeks ago, but channeling my RBG today. So
I love it.
With that, I knew you would, and I love RBG, the notorious RBG. So with that being said, you know, before the break, we discussed the 28,000 people that have lost their jobs at Disney, and so with that being said, you know, we can expect that bankruptcy filings, we've read the reports. I mean, not just with this new news, but just in general, bankruptcy filings are up. I'd love for us to briefly discuss, kind of recap, Chapter 7, Chapter 13, and maybe even a little bit of what businesses can do too.
So to briefly touch upon what you're saying, how we've been hearing about bankruptcies, and yes, I think that's accurate. A couple weeks ago, I shared the bankruptcy court down here issues a paper, the Beacon News. They issue it like quarterly, and one of the reports was from an economist who said, listen, our economy's not recovering enough, and what's going to hurt our economy are these big corporations when they start to lay people off and when they start to fall. And that's going to be a problem. And look what we just heard. Look what's happening here. Because that's going to have an entire trickle-down effect depending on where you are in the hierarchy. You're going to be affected. You're going to be hurt. There's no way around it.
It's all your fault because you didn't renew the annual pass. You see that? It's all Alexis Garcia's fault. And all you people who didn't renew your annual pass.
So, okay, if we think at the, let's say the employee level, you know, if you work the gates at Disney, if you're one of the characters maybe, okay, this may be a time without your income. Chapter 7 bankruptcy may be beneficial. A Chapter 7 bankruptcy is a liquidation as we know it. So you walk away from the bankruptcy with no unsecured debts, okay? Meaning you get rid of all your credit card debt, medical bills, any issues you may have, any types of contracts. These people have personal loans, judgments, anything. You get rid of all of that, okay? Now, you can keep your home. So if you have a home with a mortgage, your homestead, it's protected. You can get rid of all your debts. You can continue to pay your mortgage and you can keep your home. The same thing with your car. You can continue to pay your car and you can keep your home and get rid of all your debts. Another thing you want to remember in a Chapter 7, you will keep that retirement plan. You will keep that pension. If Mr. Walt Disney did give you a retirement plan, a 401k, roll it over to an IRA. Do not take the funds out because you want to keep them protected. So you roll them from the 401k, which you get through the business, to an IRA, which is also a form of protected retirement, okay?
Okay, wait, so say that one more time. One person back who didn't hear.
Okay.
If you just got laid off from your job, or you quit, or you got fired,
and you had a 401k, right? What's going to happen, you can't keep it with your ex-employer because your 401k is through your ex-employer. If you cash those funds out, you can potentially, they could lose their protections or exemptions. But what you can do is you roll it over from a 401k to an IRA. An IRA is a protected, you know, speak with a financial advisor, but an IRA is a protected retirement plan that's not through an employer. Those are also protected under the bankruptcy code. You can protect that money. You don't have to use retirement now because you fell in a hardship. You can file your 7 and you can keep all of these things.
Thank you so much, Attorney Garcia. Ladies and gentlemen, give us a call, 888-88-LEGAL.
And, you know, I would imagine that some of these folks that have been losing their jobs, whether it's from the Disney or from just any area of the economy, you know, they're desperate to seek solutions. And that's what we offer here at PraDa Law. We have bankruptcy attorneys. We have the experience necessary to help guide you. And whether it's a bankruptcy, whether it's a loan modification, whether you need foreclosure defense while you figure out your bankruptcy, we work in tandem here. We work as a team. We're all here together to help you. And, you know, bringing back Attorney Reyes with regards to mediation, she focuses exclusively on family law mediations. Have you seen, Attorney Reyes, during this time of COVID, that parties are coming to the table, so to speak, with less money, or people who have lost their jobs? You know, are there more difficulties now, so to speak, in settling these matters because there's no money on the table in some of these cases?
Well, what we've seen a lot of is modifications. So people are modifying their child support because they lost their job, or they've been furloughed, or, you know, they can't afford the alimony. So those type of issues are coming before mediation, and they just want to get it, try to resolve it before going to court because they know what may or may not happen in court. So they try to get those issues resolved at mediation, but it is a temporary issue. So it's kind of hard to settle on that. So they'll reach a temporary agreement. For now, we'll agree that we'll reduce the child support to X amount or the alimony to X amount, but then come next year, or when, everything picks up again and there's more stability and we're able to figure out.
At that time.
Right.
Thank you so much, Attorney Reyes. So you are also a Florida certified mediator.
That's correct.
And you have a mediation company.
I do.
What's that mediation company?
So we're Happy Endings Mediation and Divorce Services is the company. We handle all types of Florida family law cases. So with regards to child support, time sharing, alimony, equitable distribution, all those issues, we mediate. So
thank you so much, Attorney Reyes. It's really great to have you here once again.
Thanks for having me.
We do have to go on a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back. We have Attorney Reyes, Attorney Garcia, Attorney Pratt here to give you guys a lot of information. Once again, we have offices in Miami, in Doral, in Columbia, and all over Florida. It doesn't matter where your case is in Florida, we can definitely help you. Give us a call, 888-88-LEGAL. We'll be right back after these messages.
I know you're home right now asking yourself, how? How will I pay my rent, my mortgage, my bills, my credit card debt? I'm attorney Alexis Garcia with PraDa Law. I've personally helped people with financial problems over the last 10 years. I understand what you are going through. We saw people lose it all in the 2008 financial crisis. You don't have to lose it all. The consultation is free. Call us now. I will help protect what you have built. You have nothing to lose by calling us. Call us now. These are trying times. This deadly virus is affecting our health, economy, jobs, our small business owners. Bankruptcy protection may be able to save assets and immediately stop your creditors from harassing you. Small business owners, employees of business of any size, we know you need help. Call us now. We will help you get back on your feet. Don't wait until it's too late. This is the time to call.
Sé que estás en la casa ahora mismo preguntándote, ¿cómo? ¿Cómo voy a pagar la hipoteca, la renta, los biles, las tarjetas de crédito? Soy la abogada Jennifer Pratt con PraDa Law. Yo personalmente he ayudado a las personas con problemas financieros durante los últimos 10 años. Yo entiendo por lo que estás pasando. Vimos cómo la gente lo perdió todo durante la crisis financiera del 2008. No tienes que perderlo todo. Llama ahora. La consulta es gratis. Te ayudaremos a proteger todo lo que has construido durante todos estos años. Sabemos que estos son tiempos difíciles. Este virus mortal está amenazando nuestra salud, nuestra economía, nuestros empleos y a los propietarios de nuestras pequeñas empresas. La consulta es gratis. Llame ahora. Te ayudaremos a recuperarte. No esperes hasta que sea demasiado tarde. Llame ya.
Welcome back to PraDa Law Live, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we've been talking finances, okay? We have our special guest here today, Carolyn Reyes, who is an attorney, but also a Florida certified mediator, and she's the co-founder of Happy Endings Mediations. So, ladies and gentlemen, we did get a question during the break from Jennifer, actually, another Jennifer, and she's actually asking, she wants to file for bankruptcy, but she recently got a new job. Okay, about 2 weeks ago, she's saying. So will that, affect her case if she does want to file for bankruptcy?
Fantastic question.
Okay.
Okay, your answer's gonna hinge on, attorneys always give these answers, depends on certain things, okay? In a Chapter 7, it is not gonna affect the look-back period to determine whether she qualifies for the Chapter 7 because we're only looking back the 6 months pre-filing. So, if we're in October, and if she gets the job in October and we file October, we're only looking at the income through September.
Okay.
Now, there is a place on your bankruptcy forms where you do need to know if she's currently employed. So although it's not looking back, we know where she is employed and what her income is at that time.
Okay, thank you so much, Attorney Garcia. Jennifer, I hope we answered your question, and please give us a call at 888-88-LEGAL. We can definitely help you with your case.
I mean, true story, like when I was in school and they would, and they would say, and the teacher would say, like, Jennifer, I would never even turn around because I just knew there was like 5 other Jennifers. And then, when like people would start problems, they'd be like, yeah, Jennifer said it. And I'd be like, Jennifer who? And I knew it was me, but.
There were a lot of Jennifers, Jessicas and Jennifers.
Yeah, and
in
I've
the
been
80s.
confused for Jessica a lot. I get Jessica a lot, but it's all good. It's all great. So, but you know what's not good and what's not great is what we've seen in this economy in the last few months. It really has been a roller coaster ride. And me personally, I used to be able to ride on roller coasters, but as I've gotten older, this anxiety kicks in.
Me too.
And
That's
I
so
cannot
weird.
I cannot do roller coasters anymore. I used to be able, like the Hulk. Yeah, right. You couldn't pay me $1 million to get on that ride, but yeah, no, I couldn't do it. But it's been a roller coaster ride, and just when we thought things were kind of picking back up, and yes, the restaurants are back open, and everything seems to be vibing, you know, the reality is that people are still losing their jobs, and that bankruptcy filings are through the roof.
Yeah, we're still not seeing the full effects of everything that's happened, okay? So besides things picking up, you're not just gonna pick up right back where you were before. There's things were on pause. There's debts that haven't been paid. There's mortgages that haven't been paid. There's vendors that haven't been paid. The vendors that weren't paid during this time, are they even gonna start up again? So now who are we gonna purchase things from? I mean, it is just so uncertain that to think that reopenings, we're just gonna poof, everything's fixed. That's just not, that doesn't make any sense. And especially with the big businesses, retail industry, they were hurting pre-COVID. Now post-COVID, it has just really weighed down on them, and it's folding over into Disney, into entertainment. It's just a domino effect that we don't know when it's gonna end.
Oh, that's all the sales at Zara, huh?
Yes. Yes, they do.
Well, that you ladies look happy about.
We're happy. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, that number on the screen, 888-88-LEGAL. Give us a call. The consultation is free.
I did discuss a little bit Chapter 7 bankruptcies. I can give a little bit of a brief breakdown of Chapter 13s. We really haven't spoken about that too much lately. But basically what an individual would use a 13 for, besides if you will have higher income, like let's say you have a reduction in your pay, but you're not completely laid off. A Chapter 13 can assist you in saving your home. I know we have a lot of forbearances, and on the Monday show we discussed forbearances. So a lot of the forbearances aren't exactly what you thought they were. So with a bankruptcy, you can use the bankruptcy to put you in a better position negotiating with these forbearances, because a Chapter 13 uses mediation. We use mediators to help resolve the debts with our mortgage holders and to attempt to save our homes. You can reduce the interest rate in your car. Did you take out a car with bad credit and you have 18% interest? We can lower that interest in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. And no, you do not have an obligation to pay all your unsecured debt in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. What you're going to pay to your unsecured creditors depends on your income, and it depends on your assets, if you have, that we cannot protect.
Thank you so much, Attorney Garcia. Once again, that number on the screen, 888-88-LEGAL. Please give us a call during the show. The show's live, and we're willing to take your questions because we have some solutions for you.
I have a question for Attorney Reyes. With regards to mediations, do you find that it is best for parties to mediate early on, like maybe even before discovery, or is it always better to mediate after discovery and maybe a little more towards the middle of the case? What do you suggest, especially for those listeners and viewers watching and listening to us right now that maybe they're low on money, they do have a conflict, they do have disagreements on how they want their divorce to look, but they don't really necessarily want to spend thousands and thousands of dollars in going to court via Zoom at this time. Would you suggest, in other words, here's my question, strike that. Would you suggest mediating prior to filing, or if you can do that, or if you've already filed, would you suggest early on or waiting till discovery is concluded?
That's a very good question, and it really just depends on the case, on the parties. Sometimes it's such a lawyer answer, but it's true, because then I have cases where I've mediated, it's very premature, and they have so many assets, you don't know what anything is. You need to get houses appraised, you need to get, statements to determine the accounts, things like that you need it. But there's other times that they don't have anything. They just want to get divorced quickly, so mediation's a good option to just get them in and get it out. So it really just depends.
Thank you so much, Attorney Reyes. This is the end of the show, ladies. So thank you so much for, joining us today here at PraDa Law. All our viewers, remember, if you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, please like and share. You never know who you may help. We can help you as well. We'll see you guys we'll see you guys tomorrow, actually. But Jennifer?
That's right. We're going to be leaving you guys. I know you're sad, but it's come to a conclusion. I want to thank our panel. They've been great. Give us a call. The number's on the screen. First consultation is free, 888-88-LEGAL. We will see you tomorrow.